Okay, so the next thing that we're moving on to is your header bar or where your main menu sits. So if I click here into that header section, which is just over here above all of your page sections, you can see here there's quite a lot you can do with it. I mean, you can change the background of the color. You can have normal as it is here, or overlay is where it sits over the top of the image. If you're scrolling down the page and you want the header bar to stay in place, you can click on for a sticky header. If you do have the header bar stay in place and you don't want it to be like a solid pink as people are scrolling down the page, you could change the background color to something else, something a bit more semi-transparent. So you can do lots of things as far as like the styling of your header bar. Then you've got the actual sections that you are going to add in to the header bar itself. Now, I quite like to use a drop-down menu, which is this one here. And if I click into it, I'll just change it to what yours would likely say. It's like that, okay? 'Cause especially if you've got like lots of links, often people put so many links across their page that it almost like falls down onto like a second line and it can get really, really messy. So if you've got a lot of links, and I would generally encourage you not to have a lot of links, I would just put the most important links into the header bar. Any other links you can put down in the footer. But if you have a lot of links, then often it's going to look a lot neater just to put it in as a drop down. Let me just turn it back the way that it was. Now, if you don't like the drop down look, that's okay too. What you could do is come over and hide it and add in just a normal menu like this. And then you can reorder things. So I just want it to sit up like that. Okay, so you could have the main menu. If you don't have many links, then that looks fine, absolutely fine. But if you've got a lot of links, I would consider using that drop-down option. Now, something that you probably notice here, well, maybe you notice, maybe you don't, but the logo is sitting right out to the left, and this call to action button is sitting pretty much right out to the right. So that's what we call like a full width header. And the default with Kajabi is not full width. It actually sort of sits in here a bit, the logo, and there's a bit more of a gap over here. And I really wanted my headers to be full width. So again, we've used a little bit of CSS code on this template to create that look. And I wanted to share that code with you now. Let me check this out and go back the way that it was. And go back over to my workbook. The code is in your workbook, guys. Just going to copy it. So if we come back into the settings area of your page and now into the custom code section, and you can see the very first bit of custom CSS that we've got at the top there is to make your header full width, okay, max width 100%. Now, if I was to take that out and save this page, and I'm going to preview it so that we can see it. I'm also going to, okay, let's make sure we're on 100%. Okay, so you can see there when my page loads that everything's sort of just pulled in a little bit, and I didn't love that. I'm working on a very wide screen, so hang on, let's just show you a bit more like that. Okay, so it sort of comes in like this, where you've got like this empty space here and empty space here, and that's not what I wanted. So if we come back over to the page itself, back into the site settings and put that bit of code back in and save it. Now let me bring my little page back over and we refresh. Okay, so you can see it's just pushed the logo and the button right out to the corners. So if you would prefer a full width header on your site, that little bit of code is over inside of the workbook. Okay, now the other thing that I wanted to give you with the workbook is just a little bit of code to make your announcement bar scrolling, just to really capture attention. So if people land on your homepage and you've got a webinar coming up, or something that you would really like people to take note of, often if it's just like static text like this, they might miss it. So what I've given you guys is a little bit of code to create what we call a marquee. And so if we go back into that header section and we come into that hello bar or the announcement bar, I've got some text there, and I'm just going to add in my CSS. Okay, and I'm saying 90%, so it's not starting right at the edge, it's doing almost edge to edge, 90%. And the direction is it's heading to the left, so from right to left, and 30 pixels high. Could make it a higher bar if you wanted to, but I decided that 30 was about right. And then after that, you put in your text, and then you put that little close marquee to stop the scroll. And that's all you have to do. So obviously you would swap the return to template shop text for whatever it is that you would like to promote. And then you can specify the action. If people do click on that announcement bar, do you want it to go to a landing page or to a checkout, or whatever you would like to happen? I will take that out, I think. Oh, just wanted to make sure you guys saw how to put it in. Like that. Okay, so that is it, guys, on header bars, and we'll come back in a minute and we're going to look at some of the other sections on this page.